Hi, I'm Marque Cornblatt, and welcome back to Guns and Gardens, the only reality show broadcasting from the zombie apocalypse. Well, we had to bug out of Oakland because of the wildfires and the riots. Luckily, we found a dinghy, and we worked our way back to San Francisco. We've taken up residence in the most secure place we could find, a 100-year-old firehouse. You know, it may not look like much, but it is built like a fortress, and it even has a big flat roof, perfect for a farm.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Anyway, we actually have a working generator, so for a few hours a day we have electricity and running water. And that leads me to the next thing, something really exciting that I want to show you. Now I'm going to show you something really controversial. I know a lot of you are going to think I'm nuts for what you're about to see, but trust me, we're onto something big. We're making some really interesting discoveries here. All right, now watch out. Now don't worry, they're chained. These Zed, they're not eating human flesh. In fact, they're not being fed by any flesh at all.
Really? What are they eating?
You see these tubes around their neck? They're being fed a kind of slurry. It doesn't always make them better, but it seems to keep them alive without them deteriorating any. But you know what? We're onto something even bigger. We may have discovered how to reverse the virus. This is, or was, our good friend Brian. When he was bit by a zombie, we did the right thing and chopped his head off, but we were completely surprised to find that the head refused to die like a normal zombie. Luckily, our resident scientist, Jessica here, came up with a little experiment.
For some reason, Mark never seems to turn no matter how often he's bitten. So, we put Brian's head in a slurry of Mark's stem cells, expired clotting agent, and antifreeze, and it's been like this ever since over a week ago.
None of us really understand what's going on here, but I swear he keeps getting more alert and aware each passing day.
Poor Brian. But maybe his suffering is not in vain. Maybe his suffering will help us find a way to fight this.
You know, scavenging the wasteland, it really helps to develop an eye so that you can tell the difference between something of value and trash. Now looking at this toolbox, it looks pretty worked over, but looking a little deeper, I can see 3, maybe 4 things right off the bat that if properly assembled could save your life in an emergency. A rusty 9-volt. It's got a little bit of power left in it, that's good. This 9-volt, along with this plain old steel wool, can be an emergency fire starter. It works surprisingly well. It's best if you have a really fine grade of steel wool, and you don't want to use an SOS or a Brillo pad because it's got soap in it, and that's going to be pretty nasty as it burns. Rip it up and shred it up so that you get a nice fine little pile of it. And now, to start a fire, you just take your 9-volt battery and you touch it to the steel wool, and you get pretty much instant ignition. So if that's sitting on top of your tinder or paper or cardboard, you've just started yourself a little fire. That's simple. It helps to use a little piece of tape over the ends of the battery, otherwise you'll be setting fires in your pocket all day long. Now here's a padlock without a key, and it's pretty useless for security, but it's not without its uses, especially when combined with a bandana or rag like this one. Just tie the padlock into the middle of the rag and tie the other end into a loop. Wrap that around your wrist or grip it tight, and you have a serious melee weapon. Oh look, here's a key and it even fits. Now it's a working padlock, so technically it's a useful tool as well, and less likely to raise the eyebrows of any local security forces. Without a key, it's a weapon. With a key, it's a padlock. So there you have it, 2 easy-to-make DIY tools that could save your life in an emergency. We've got a fire starter using steel wool and a 9-volt battery, and we've also got this melee weapon using a padlock and a rag. Most people would consider these things trash, but clearly they have value if you know how to use them right. Remember these techniques, and it might just keep you alive in the wasteland. You know, we may have just settled in here a few weeks ago, but we're already doing a really brisk business and trade. We've got weapons, we've got food, we've got first aid, we've even got a couple of really interesting luxury items.
You can get anything you need.
Well, maybe.
Come on, man, we got this town covered. We can get anything we want.
Yeah, that's true, for the right price. Hey, what are you working on?
I just finished reconditioning this AR-15.
It looks nice, but we don't even have any 223, do we?
Not yet.
Well, if you guys have any 223 ammo, come on down and we'll make you a really good deal here at our trading post. Oh man, they got loose. Is anyone even holding? Is anybody packing? Is anybody carrying anything? Hold on a second. Well, I guess this is probably a good a time as any to wrap the show. If you find yourself in the Bay Area, try and look us up. We'll give you a hot meal and we'll show you the best trading post in the unincorporated California defense grid. We'll see you next time on Guns and Gardens.